Yo, what is poppin', guys? We are back with week 2 of the ITL finally. I uploaded my team builder for this battle last weekend, I think. Took a time until this battle was recorded because um, my Tyler, the guy who records my videos, just was pretty busy, so this battle goes up a little later than the team builder, but that's not a problem. Shout out to Tyler again. Um, he records all my teams and jams me a mon whenever I need one, like stuff like default Mew or something, which is like throughout the gen exclusive, which I can't get with power saves and stuff. So he really helps me out a lot. We talk mons like almost every day, I think, and just a good friend, and he always has my back when it comes to recording and stuff. So we are facing the Blackmont Raikougars and Scotty, Zamcrow, my good buddy, one of my closest friends in the community. Really, really cool guy. You should definitely check him out. Has a very sexy voice. He uploads for the ITL as well, I think. I don't know if he will upload this battle because he's kind of busy at the moment. But puts out some nice content. Actually knows his stuff when it comes to Mons. One of the few guys I consider like a contender in this league. Like maybe one of 4 or 5 guys that I actually think have a shot at making the finals or winning it all. So definitely one of the hardest opponents we are gonna face this season. And we're gonna face him twice because he's in our division, so that's gonna be fun. Um, if you don't know what team I'm bringing, definitely go and check out my team builder. It was the latest video on my channel, I think. Shouldn't be hard to find. But just to give a quick overview, I bring standard Sableye. I bring Life of Talonflame with Roost and 3 attacks. I bring physically defensive Rhyperior, physically defensive Restock Luxray, Life of Mamoswine, and specially defensive Mew with Defog Roost, Psychic, and Volt Switch. So the plan basically is to Volt Turn out into Mamoswine and get a kill, but as you will soon notice, this is not gonna happen in this battle. It was actually a very interesting battle, very, very long one. This battle video alone is 25 minutes long, so you already know like what's gonna happen in this one. Looking at Scoot's team, he brings a very fat team, just like I do. Only 2 offensive threats, kinda, maybe 3, depending on the rotom. He brings the Miltank, which is definitely physically defensive, thick fat to take on the Mamoswine. Brings Tentacruel, which I expected to be defensive, but was actually offensive. He brings the Jirachi, which is always hard to prepare for because it can do so many different things. I wasn't sure what set it is. I mean, Calm Mind substitute makes a lot of sense with me. Just like a substitute 3 attack set makes a lot of sense with maybe Wise Glasses or something and a special variant. Scarf always makes sense because you can always flinch down stuff to death. So yeah, I had trouble figuring out what this Jirachi does, and it was a pretty big threat to my team. So you will see that in a minute. He brings the Roll Heat, which probably is his burp check to Talonflame. He brings Mandibars, probably mixed defensive with whatever EVs he needs to take on most of my attacks. Probably enough to live in Icicle Crash after rocks or something from Mamoswine. And he brings the Mega Diancie, which is probably his Stealth Rocker looking at his team, because Miltank won't carry Stealth Rocks because Sableye likes to come in on Miltank and bounce back certain moves like Toxic or Stealth Rock, so I don't think that thing will have Stealth Rock, and I don't think the Jirachi will have Stealth Rock either because Sableye is a very good check to this monster. So I think Diancie will probably Moonblast, Diamond Storm, Stealth Rock, and then maybe Protect or whatever. There's a lot of options. What this 4th move could be a hidden power to hit something harder than Moonblast does, or something maybe HP Grass for the Rhyperior if he really wants to hit it, but I doubt it. Could be Earth Power or something, which would make more sense with me, or just Substitute or something. Maybe even Rock Polish, although Rock Polish Stealth Rock would be kinda weird, but Scoot is a very creative guy when it comes to his prep, so that definitely is a possibility. Looking at Steam, I don't want to lead with the Sableye because Mega Diancie is a pretty obvious lead, so I just lead with my counter to the Diancie, which is the Mew. Oh, sorry, that sound isn't supposed to be there. So I lead off with Mia Wallace, my Mew, which can take on, actually, looking at his team, he had the Jirachi, the Diancie, the Tentacruel, Mandibuzz, Rotom, and Miltank, and Mew can actually wall everything, every mon like he brings. Besides maybe a very offensive Jirachi and like maybe a Specs Rotom or something, which I don't really expect him to bring. So Mew definitely a win condition here because it can actually stall out a lot of stuff. He leads with his Diancie as expected, and I have no reason not to go for a Psychic here. He withdraws turn 1 his Diancie, which kinda makes me think he doesn't have Protect on it. And he probably wants to like keep it healthy, so he cannot Mega Evolve up on the Mew. I go for his Saga, he goes into the Mandibuzz, very good play but I can just Volt Switch out. He has to like scout for the moves that I'm going to bring, and he sees that I have the Electric type attack to like get a decent hit off on the Mandibuzz. He brings in this Rotom on the Volt Switch, and Volt Switch actually does a lot because like I'm not invested or not heavily invested, like 20 special attack EVs maximum. I don't really know. I might be only 4 EVs or something, but does like a clean 10 to 12%. So this Rotom is probably not the most defensive Rotom ever. I just Volt Switch out of Seabrings with the Rotom and go into my Rhyperior because I want to get up rocks because they hurt like Mandibuzz on the switch and the Rotom on the switch, and like nothing really appreciates rocks, so I can get off my Stealth Rock here as he like is forced to switch out, doesn't want to take a Rock Blast or Stone Edge depending on what I pack. And he goes out into his Tentacruel, which I actually don't expect to be his spinner because Sableye is a very good spin blocker. Even though I don't want to take a Scalp from this monster, it's definitely possible that like Sableye is a switch into Tentacruel, especially if I'm specially defensive, to take some hits from like Rotom or stuff better. So I actually think this is a more offensive or like more offensive Tentacruel, or just a Tentacruel with like 3 attacks and then like Toxic Spikes or even Arrest Talk Tentacruel, like some weird set, but not a Rapid Spinner. I'm pretty sure of that. I thought of a Rock Blast. Oh, I didn't get up my rocks here. That's interesting. Get a hefty chunk off, so that's definitely not physically defensive Tentacruel. With 2 hits, I do like 40%. So had I gotten 5 hits, I actually had a chance to knock him out. I'm pretty sure. So this is definitely an offensive Tentacruel. Thought I was going for rocks there. Sorry if I don't remember everything, because like this battle happened like over a week ago, so I'm not like 100% sure of the plays I made. Because I expect a more offensive Tentacruel, I go into my Luxray, which definitely can take 1 Scalp plus burn damage, and threaten this thing out. If it was like non-life orb, I would have taken like that much damage from this Scald which he puts out here, but this does over 50%, which really sucks. And yeah, he reveals to be life orb, and his Tentacruel is almost down to at 50%, which is great for me. He doesn't know my set. He probably knows by the Scald damage that I'm kinda invested, but he doesn't know how speedy I am and like how much how many HP EVs I have. And he basically is forced to switch out here just because he doesn't want to lose his Tentacruel here, which can definitely put a lot of pressure on my team. I could have rested up here, but I decided to just Volt Switch out, keep the momentum on my side to like threaten out his mons even more and like get back into the get him into the Volturn circle here and like keep the momentum on my side. I go back into my Rhyperior here because like the game plan originally was to like Volturn out into Mamoswine, get a big hit off, but he has the Rotom Heat and the Miltank, both of which can take hits from the Mamoswine easily. Miltank is only 2-hit KO'd by a Life Orb Earthquake after rocks and maybe even a little more damage. I'm not 100% sure on the calc, but I think I had the chance to 2-hit KO, but not if it was leftover. So there's that. And if it's a defensive Rotom here, it still tanks Stone Edge from me, so I didn't want to go into my Mamoswine yet. I go into my Rhyperior as he is forced to switch out again into 2%, which is Miltank. And this picture here, melting in front of my Rapier, you will see it a lot this battle. I'm just saying, like, this video will probably be like a 40-minute record or something. Definitely gonna be kinda annoying at some point. I just fire off a Rock Blast again because I want to weaken this Rotom for my Mamoswine. Gauging by the damage the Volt Switch did to Rotom, he's probably a very offensive Rotom and probably outspeeds my my Mamoswine. So I want to get rid of this thing before I like start bringing my Mamoswine and get some kills. His Miltank reveals to be leftovers, which is kind of annoying, but doesn't really matter. He withdraws, he makes a double. I think now I go for my Stealth Rock here. As he goes into the Jirachi, the monster is in. I get my Stealth Rock up, which is great. He withdraws again because I think I stay in and just fire off Earthquake here. I don't know why he brought Jirachi, maybe expecting a Toxic or something, but he forces me out because I don't want to take an Energy Ball, which has a chance to kill my Rapier because I'm max physical defense. Had he been Energy Ball, Expert Belt, he outcould me 100%. I didn't want to take the risk. I go into my damage case here, my Luxray, because if he's a Scarper and wants to U-turn out, that's fine. He takes the Rocky Helmet anti-intimidate, so it doesn't even kill me with the U-turn plus the burn, and I can maybe keep my Luxray for later and get some chip damage off on the Jirachi, which would be great, because after Rocks and Rocky Helmet damage, he would have been at 80% roughly, so that would have been nice. But he makes a double into his Miltank, which I take as an opportunity to get off my rest. So he milk drinks up, which is fine with me. Like if he's at 70% or 100%, doesn't really matter because he can't break through that yet. So I have to weaken it at some point, maybe get status off on it or something. I rest up here. He could have killed me with the Seismic Toss, which he didn't pack, but I didn't know that at this point. But I just hope that that he thinks I'm faster and can rest up on his potential milk drink or Toxic or something. Not Toxic, but maybe Stealth Rock or something. Didn't really care. So I rest up. My Luxray is back at full, which is great as a backup check to a physically offensive Jirachi and like to get some damage off on Miltank and stuff with the Rocky Helmet. I Volt Switch out on the Rest Hockey, which is great because I get the initiative back. This Volt Switch really pressures Scoot a lot in this battle. He is forced to switch out again as I go into my Rhyperior to fire off, I think, a Rock Blast here, which is the safest move. But I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, go for a Rock Blast, which does like an okay amount to the Miltank, like an amount that I'm happy with because I can actually beat this thing 1 versus 1 if it does attack the Seismic Toss or the Toxic. I'm pretty sure about that. So Rhyperior beats this certain Miltank. Rhyperior like destroys it, like cannot touch Rhyperior at all. It's actually Milk Drink, Heal Bell, Frustration, and Counter, as you will see later. So I get a Toxic off here just to see if he has the Heal Bell, which I really expected to have, but you never know. So just like chip damage, getting rid of leftovers recovery basically is helpful. But he reveals the Heal Bell here directly after that, so that's fine with me. As you can see, these two here just exchanging moves that don't like do anything to each other. Pretty annoying, but it happens. It was definitely an interesting part of this battle, I'd say. It kind of reminded me of the ITL Season 2 finals, which went to timer, so that's funny. He gets a critical hit with the Frustration, which obviously doesn't matter. It does like 18 HP, which isn't even 10%, so I can easily recover it up with the leftovers. So he said sorry for the crits during the battle. I was pretty much laughing. As you can see, I get on my lefties here, almost back to 4, and he is Toxic, so I could potentially, what's the name, spam Toxic here to stall him out of heal bells, but it's a little too early for that. He reveals the counter now, which is pretty interesting. So, good thing I didn't go for the Earthquake here, because Earthquake does like 30% to Miltank, which would be like big big hit on the Rapira, like 60% or something. So I'm happy I got, like, I switched out into my Sableye. And I use this opportunity here to Mega Evolve up and get a knockoff off, even though you switch into the INC is pretty obvious. I contemplated going for Will-O-Wisp here, but it just was too risky on my part, and he has the heal belt, so Will-O-Wisp doesn't really give me a lot. But now he has obviously the chance to Mega Evolve, get his Magic Bounce off, and go for rocks if he wants to, because I'm not staying in on this thing. I go into my Mew, which is a hard counter to the INC. It's not too KO'd by any 2 attacks, so that's kind of cool. He Mega Evolves, looking nice and clean there, the INC. And he goes for the substitute, which I don't really know why, because he should know that it can't break through my core with the Diancie. I can revenge kill it, but it's whatever. He gets up his rocks, which kind of sucks. I break the substitute with the psychic here. That's like 30 to 40% or something. Like he had to be heavily invested to not have his sub broken. So fires off a Moonblast, which does some solid damage, but I can just kill the Diancie here with my Mew, and it's basically that's the first kill of the game. So a lot of the battle already happened, but no kill yet. Get some lefties back, so I'm at a good 65-ish percent here, which is pretty cool. Maybe a little, even a little more, almost 70%. As he goes into the Jirachi, and I think the Jirachi wants to either U-turn out, get a big U-turn off, or set up on me. I make a very safe play and go into my Jirachi, into my Luxray, sorry, because I have the Intimidate and can stop him from going for like Iron Head or something. And he reveals to be substitute, and I'm not sure, because I'm not invested, I'm not sure if Discharge actually has a chance to break sub. He goes for the Iron Head, which is great for me. He does absolutely nothing after the Intimidate, and I get some chip damage off on him. I'm fast asleep, go for the oh, I miscounted my sleep turns here, and I didn't go for the sleep talk, which really sucked, but I think I wanted to stay in to break this up with Discharge, possibly, but he goes for Ancient Power now, which is kind of crazy, and he gets the boost, and I'm really freaking out. He is now at +1 in every stat besides attack because of the Intimidate, and I know that this Discharge won't break the substitute, and like this is really scary for me, because like this Jirachi can actually sweep me here if I don't break the sub now. He gets another boost with the Ancient Power. I think it's GG. I told him in the chat that like, don't do this to me. Don't sweep me with this like Ancient Power boost garbage, which really sucks. Like 20% chances here, and he gets them on the first 2 turns. Now, as I broke his sub here, he actually doesn't go for another substitute, which he probably should have done to sweep the game. But now I have a chance to like stop this thing from sweeping me. The only thing that can take a hit is the Sableye and probably the Mew, but Mew actually like can't break its sub because it's +2. So I'm in. I actually make a very dumb play and go for the knockoff on the first turn. Had he not flinched me here, that like had he not flinched me here, but on the next turn would have been GG in his favor. Goes for another Iron Head. Can I break through to the flinch? Yes, I can, and get off the fall pad to kill this thing. My Sableye is basically dead now, which really sucks, but at least I got rid of this Jirachi. Had he gone for sub after before killing my Luxray, he probably would have swept me. He was kind of confused that Iron Head didn't 2KO me, and was like a little salty after the match, but he forgot that I intimidated him, and he only got 2 boosts by the Ancient Power. And Sableye actually can take 2 +1 Iron Heads with ease, even after rocks, I think. So he was confused and like was talking about the game mechanics that were broken or something, but it actually he was only a +1 and forgot it, so didn't really matter. I'm happy I broke through. It was basically was a 60% chance basically to sweep the game here for him, and he didn't get it, so that's kind of hex 2, I guess, because Like, I don't consider Iron Head Flinch Switch Jirachi hacks against me, because it's actually hacks against my opponent if he doesn't get flinched, because it's a chance that is in his favor. So that's just my 5 cents on the topic. He goes into his Tentacruel, and I'm contemplating saving my Sableye here, but I don't really have a good switch in. That's the problem. My Luxray is down. I can't sack it. I need my Rhyperior because it actually walls his entire team besides the Tentacruel now. And I don't want to go into my Mew, even though I'm pretty sure I can take 2 Skulls after Rocks and Leftovers recovery. He could potentially burn me and outspeed me after that to like kill me. So I didn't want to take a risk. I could have recovered up on the Miltank, which I knew by now that it couldn't touch me. But I decided it wasn't worth saving Sableye, even though I probably should have done it and tracked maybe the Talonflame, because it wasn't doing anything in this battle. Misplay on my part, but I just sack my Sableye to the Tentacruel here. It's 4-4 now. I have my Mew, Mamoswine, Talonflame, and Rhyperior left. Here's his Tentacruel, Mandibuzz, Rotom, and Miltank left. And looking at his team, besides the Mandibuzz, he cannot 2-hit KO me, and Mandibuzz only can 2-hit KO me with the knockoff. And even then, it's a pretty slim chance. So Mew actually has the chance to what's it called, to like stall him out like the entire game. He has very, very small chance of beating Mew, but at this point, because he lost his Diancie and his Jirachi. He decides to save his Tentacruel as I go into Mew, and I can just roost up here. Brings in the Mandibuzz on me, obviously, which is pretty good counter, because Voltage does absolutely jack shit to this thing, so nothing I can do versus this. But it doesn't really matter. I don't want to lose my leftovers here, so I just Voltage out, probably expecting him to roost up, so I could potentially get in my Mamoswine for free, but I didn't want to like go for that. I got to my Wilford, which was actually not the best idea, because losing the leftovers would have meant that I could have potentially lost to the Miltank. But as expected, he goes for a roost, so I took a risk there, and that it paid off for me. So that's pretty nice. When I get my lefties back, I'm almost at 100% health, and I'm free to get off another Toxic or Rock Blast here. Goes into his Miltank, and now a very annoying part begins, I'm pretty sure, because both of us are in a very tough spot. He cannot switch into the Rhyperior at all. Like, a Rock Blast absolutely kills everything that wants to hit the field. Kills the Tentacruel after rock damage, because like the 2 Rock Blasts earlier do like 40%, and he's at less than 50, so after rocks he would be dead to Rock Blast. Mandibuzz doesn't appreciate taking Rock Blast, neither does Rotom, and now, like, I have no reason to switch off, because I know this Miltank cannot touch me. I could sit in front of this thing all day, like, actually, like, would be no problem for me to just sweep him. Go for the Earthquake here as he Milk Drinks up, so, like, I'm stalling him out a little bit of the Milk Drinks. I have actually no reason to switch off, because my entire team is at full health now, and he cannot touch me. So if this goes down to time, and it was like 35-ish minutes in, maybe even 40 minutes in, and it was tied at 4-4, and basically I win the game if he doesn't switch out at some point. So I'm in a very commanding position here, and I don't have any reason to give that position up. He goes for the counter, expecting me here to attack him. It's a lot of mind games here, which most of these 50-50s, does he go for Heal Bell, does he go for Milk Drink, does he go for counter, went in my favor. And I think he only got 1 counter off on my Rhyperior the entire game, as you will see. And I predicted his Heal Bells and Milk Drinks really, really well. At the end of this Slugfest here was, I think, 2 Heal Bells, so that was pretty great for me. Like, Rhyperior actually 1v1s his entire team here, which is really, really good, unless it's like a Specs Rotom, which HP Grass and can do a lot of damage, but can also always get back my health with the Miltank, because Miltank's frustration actually does less than than what I recover with leftovers. So that's really good for me. As you can see here, we just exchange attacks. PP stall us a little bit, like let the timer run down, even though like I didn't take 90 seconds or whatever per turn to stall him out, because if he makes the right decision and gets his Tentacruel in on a Toxic on my side, it could have been a very good situation for him, and I didn't want to give that up. So I like don't want to let the timer run down, because I might need some time to get back from some good predictions on his part. Now it's the first time he gets his counter off, and that is so much. Like, what the fuck? Over 120 HP, that's a hefty chunk of my health, but as you will soon see, I actually get back to full health with my Rapier in this battle again, just because of leftovers. So you already know that this is just a slugfest. It's just stall versus stall right now, because both of us, we prep in a very similar fashion. We both like to have our switch-ins for everything, our counters for everything, and like when you prep like very similar, it often comes down to which wall beats the opposing wall, I guess, or does anyone bring a mon that can sweep the entire team, even though the walls are not down yet. Like, you have to bring a wall breaker, like I did with the Mamoswine, and he brought like 2 answers to it, so I couldn't even got Mamoswine in here and try to kill him. So that kind of sucks, because I didn't want to risk him being up at like 80% so that he can easily take an Earthquake and counter me to death, because Mamoswine actually was still helpful, because I have trouble wearing down the Mandibus, to be honest. So this Miltank slowly but surely gets chipped down by poison and military and stuff, and I spam Stealth Rock here at some point, because I don't want to get like rid of all my Toxics, because like I spammed some Toxics when he already was poisoned, so I needed like enough Toxics to stall out his Heal Bell and still Toxic Miltank and potentially draw somebody Mandibus. So I had to keep some Toxics for him, as he like Miltank's up again. I spam Stealth Rock. It doesn't happen anything at this point, so sorry that you have to watch this, but I don't want to scroll it, because there comes a very good part at the end of this slugfest here. Hit him 4 times with the Rock Blast, which forces him to Milk Drink again or to Heal Bell, so that's pretty nice for me. I don't know when the part was when like he finally switches out of Miltank, but it will come soon enough, I guess. He Heal Bells again. There's not a lot of Heal Bells left, which is great for me. So, yeah, it's kind of stally here, but nothing you can do about it. It's really tough for me to like talk you through this shit, because like there was always some thought going on here, like why I picked certain moves, but it was like rinse repeat all the time, and I don't want to tell you why I picked Toxic in this moment, because it was pretty obvious and shit. So pretty annoying part. You can feel free to skip through that a little bit, but still interesting. So there's that. Yeah, I'm trying to like wear him down, stall him out of the heal bells, and try to predict either his Tentacruel or whatever else wants to come in once he decides to switch out. So it's like a guessing game kinda, because he has to find the perfect opportunity to switch in a threat that actually falls me out, which probably is his Tentacruel. And if I attack him on the turn he switches out, I win the game. So he's in a really tough spot, and he wants to play it as safe as possible, which is completely understandable. He's very like methodical battler. I think he likes to weigh his options and like make sure his plays don't lose in the game. So that happens when 2 good players face off, I guess. Like both don't want to throw the game to one misprediction, and now Rapira is back to full up to this next turn. So I got 120 127 HP or something, or 126 HP back, which I lost. Kind of got him back with the left was. I get a crit here on the Earthquake, which obviously doesn't matter because he's not even toxic. That was actually the point where I predicted him to switch out because his Milk Tank was at full health, almost after the Milk Ring, and he wasn't toxic, so that was basically the perfect opportunity for him to switch out his Milk Tank. But and I really thought he would do that, but he didn't. So good play on his part. And now he switches out its I fire off another toxic. So he got me there really well played on his part after all this, like I don't know, 15 or 20 turns of stall. He finally got the Tentacruel in, which is the only thing on his team that can actually deal with my Rhyperior. I have to switch out. I go into my Mia Wall as my Mew, which is especially defensive wall this time. As he fires off a Skull, doesn't get the burn here, which is nice. I can just softball, I can just roost here, and like let him go down to the life orb. He cannot switch out because he's in the in range of Stealth Rock, and he actually is a rapid spinning Tentacruel. I was really sure he would be default Manibus, but he actually is rapid spin Tentacruel. I just roost up, and now I make a pretty dumb misplay because I forgot about the game mechanics that you actually have to hit opponent to default. He goes for the Sludge Bomb trying to get a poison, doesn't get it, kills himself with the life orb, and instead of roosting up, I go for the defog, not knowing or forgetting that I cannot defog Rocks away if there's no opponent on the field. So that was pretty dumb. I could have been at full here. He goes into his Rotom and fires off a Thunderbolt, and I stay in to gauge the damage and don't want to go into my Mamoswine or my Rhyperior on a good prediction in his part, or a Will-O-Wisp or something, and I get paralyzed, which is really annoying. I get some Hex later in the game, which, like, in my opinion, canceled this Hex out, but and he was really salty about the Hex I got. But I think had he not parried my Mew here, Mew would have actually beat his the rest of his team, because he can actually not kill me with anything. As you can see, this overheat does not even 50%. He cannot kill me, and if I don't get paralyzed in this turn, I'd even beat this Rotom. So a non-parried Mew would have been great, but you cannot ask for that. He got a 10% chance. He got two 20% chances earlier with the Jirachi, which was really crazy, and I just get a big chunk of my health back here, which is great for me. He has to withdraw now, and I think I used this opportunity to defog or roost up. I'm not 100% sure. Let's see what I do. I roost actually, yeah, because I cannot bank on me not getting parried. You always get parried when you're like in a bad situation. So I decide to make an aggressive play and go into my Mamoswine because I expected to pack the knockoff to get rid of my leftovers so that Rotom actually has a chance to beat me. And I really don't want the life orb on my Mamoswine because like the 10% I take every turn can be kind of annoying. But he, instead of going for a knockoff, I don't know if he had it, haven't talked about him, goes for a foul play, and you see this does a critical amount to me. It like leaves me at exactly 6 life of hits, and I go for the Icicle Crash here, knowing that I cannot take him out, but even if he kills my Mamoswine here with the foul play, I can get in my Rhyperior and basically get a kill or just stall out the steam, because my Mew is at full, my Talonflame is at full, and my Rhyperior is at full, so I actually win 3 versus 3 now if he kills my Mamoswine. But unfortunately for him, he gets flinched and can't move, which really sucks for him. I wasn't actually at 6 life of it, so it was at 3, sorry. Instead of 10%, I thought it would do like 10 HP, but that was dumb on my part. So I have 3 life of hits left in me as he goes into his Milk Tank. As I fell off an Ice Crash. I was pretty close to to Stone Edging here, or to Earthquaking, because I really expected him to like switch out to save his Manibus, because I don't even have Rocks up at this point. And Manibus is critical to deal with the Mew on his side. I get a crit which again doesn't matter that much because he can recover up on whatever I want to bring in later, and can now pivot out into his Rotom. Again, I could have gone for the Stone Edge, but I wanted to play it as safe as possible to like guarantee me the win. I go for the Earthquake, his Levitate, avoids an Ice Switch out. Talking about the Hex again, I go into my Mia Wallace here again, as you will see, as he fires off the hidden power, expecting me to like go into my Rhyperior on the overheat or something, but I would never risk my Rhyperior when I have like special defensive Mew in the back. Talking about the Hex again, yes, I flinched him with the Mandibuzz, and he was like very, very salty after that. We didn't like talk through it all because like it was an annoying game for both of us, a lot of stalls, so kind of a shitty game. But like I argued that my Mew, had he not parried me, would have won the game because I could roost up on everything because I'm faster than anything besides the Rotom. I could roost up and be at more a higher percentage of HP than he would be because his Miltank was low, his Rotom was low, and his Mandibuzz was low. Rotom cannot recover up unless he's the Pain Split, and Pain Split in 3 attacks would not make that much sense, so I expect him to be like Will-O-Wisp or 3 attacks, and I could have beaten the Rotom actually, so there's that. If my Mew was not parried, I basically had the game won regardless of what happened to my -1. Had he killed me, so whatever, I win 3-3, so that doesn't matter. Now I'm up 4-3, which really sucks for him because now he's in a situation where he's more pressured to get a kill, but I think the Hex kinda cancel each other out because like a parried Mew is worse for me than like a low health Mandibuzz or Miltank because they always can recover up on maybe the Rhyperior. He reveals his last hit, which is the Volt Switch, so he doesn't have a means of recovery, so I actually would have won the game there at any point. He goes into his Mandibuzz again, and I decide to just roost up here on this monster, even though I cannot touch it. But I know that Foul Play cannot knock me out yet, not even Knockoff can at 119 HP, so unless he's obviously invested. But he roosts up as well, so you see the crit, the flinch on the Mandibuzz doesn't matter because like he's healthy, and yes, my Mamoswine lives, but it's like it cannot OHKO anything now on his team. So whenever my Mamoswine comes in, it just dies. So what am I supposed to do? Like I don't think it mattered at all. Like yes, his Mandibuzz was down, he was forced to roost there instead of going for the Foul Play and Parahex potentially. But I think it canceled each other out. Like the parried Mew for me was worse than the crit I got against him. Especially, I don't think he should complain about Hex when he got 2 Ancient Power Boost, but obviously it's frustrating when you get it. So I can understand when you get like flinched and then crit on 2 consecutive turns. So I can understand him there, and like it's not that there are hard feelings or anything between us because of this battle. Like we're actually very close friends, and yeah, this game was just another another game that fed the rivalry, I guess, because like we love to play each other and love to win versus each other, even though we never talk trash. Basically, like we do it sometimes afterwards when we hack someone really bad. Something I remember him losing to me in one league because his Metagross missed Meteor Mash on my Mega Altaria, and I told him I was Babiri Berry and Bright Powder, and he's still pissed about that, obviously, because I got really lucky there. He had me swept at the end, but missed the Meteor Mash, which really sucked for him. Meanwhile, I was hitting my Fire Blast, obviously, to get rid of this monster. Miltank is back in, and now I know that I win the game. I get my rocks back up. He cannot switch in his Rotom for free, cannot switch in his Mandibuzz for free, and Rhyperior just wins the game now. And I think he will forfeit here. There were like 7 minutes on the timer. He heal belts again, which is like I think his second to last heal belt. Not 100% sure, maybe his third to last. That doesn't matter. I toxic again, but miss. Doesn't matter, like because he cannot break through Rhyperior at all. I even take the HP Grass or Water from the Rotom easily, and he decides to forfeit here, which is completely fine with me. Like, it wasn't like there were like 10 minutes left on the timer, and not even 10 minutes. Like, it was very close to ending, and we didn't like have to play it out at all. So I win 4-3 in week 2 of the ITL. A very, very long battle. Very, like, I won't say boring, because even stall isn't boring at all if you make the right plays. Like, you cannot. I wouldn't even argue that it takes no skill to stall, because like you still have to make the right plays, preserve your win conditions, and I think I preserved my Rapira really well. Once his Diancie and Jirachi went down, and as long as I had a check to the Mamoswine, Rapira was winning the game. Like, he had no chance of breaking through it. Even the foul play from Mandibus is like 23% max, because I'm uninvested in attack and had max defense and HP on my Rapira, so that thing can't even beat me. Rotom's hidden power grass does 75% max, maybe 80 if he was extra belt, but I can kill with the Rock Blast, and I can always pivot out into my Mew in this thing, so I basically beat everything. His Miltank didn't have an attack to hit me with, so Frustration was doing less than 6%, which is Leftovers recovery, so could not beat me there. And I think I played around his offensive threats really well. Obviously, I got lucky versus the Jirachi, but then again, he got 2 Ancient Power Boosts and 1 Flinch already with it, so I think it was like I think I should have should have broken out through the flinch there at the end with my Sable Eye, just like to make up for the ridiculous Ancient Power Boost and shit. But yeah, it wasn't a really good game, to be honest. Like, we didn't got to show off our offensive sets. Like, his offensive tender crew was pretty cool, to be honest, because it actually deals very well with my team when you look at it. Yes, it's easily revenge killed by a Talonflame, which no tender crew should be, but besides that, it just kills Mamoswine and Rapira, especially if I expect him to be a defensive Tentacruel. I could potentially stay in with Mamoswine and try to go for the kill with the Earthquake. But then again, he could have occurred me with the Scar. So very cool set on his part. For text Rotom, I'm not sure why he brought it. Maybe to lure in stuff like Rhyperia on T-Balls just to hit it with the hidden power. But I think more defensive Rotom would have done him more in this battle. More defensive Rotom, because it's a better bird check than Miltank and Diancie, because you can always obviously pack the Steel Wing for the Diancie, and Miltank doesn't appreciate Brave Birds at all, and it didn't have a lot to hit me back unless he went for counter, obviously, but that would have left him in range for Earthquake from Mamoswine, for example, or allowed me to get back in my Rapira and stuff. So I think I played around him really well. Yes, some hacks went against him, but I think it cancelled each other out, so yeah, I don't think there's anything left to say. I think it was a solid win for me. Definitely intense to play, I say, because it's actually a very, very good opponent, and I definitely wanted to start it strong in my division, get a win in the second week after a very solid week 1 win was crucial for me. I think I want to be in a commanding position in my division, and I got it here. So definitely a good game to Scoot. Go check him out. He's a very, very cool guy. I can only say once again that his voice is sexy as fuck. Yeah, you have to hear him. Zempro is his YouTube and Twitter name. I will link his Twitter probably in the description. Yeah, definitely go check him out. Leave a like and a comment in this battle, if you were able to watch through it all. And yeah, I probably will catch you tomorrow or on Saturday with, or maybe even today with week 3 of the ITL, which was very, very cool. A very, very interesting game and very solid team prep on both sides. So be hyped for that. Yeah, it's a 44-minute recording. Fuck my life. this stalls like this are always fun to record. So I don't want to like take more time of your day. So see you on the next video.